She isn't shy, she's signaling, and she's waiting for you. If you're a mature man, you've felt this. A younger woman lingers, laughs a little too easily, holds your eyes a beat longer, then steps back and lets the moment die. You wonder if you imagined it. You second-guess the timing, and by the time you decide, the window has closed. Most men miss these invitations because they look for loud words instead of quiet cues. Here's the shift. Stop chasing reassurance and start reading the evidence. Her body language, her proximity, her playful tests, her selective attention. They are green lights when you know how to see them. Your job isn't to perform. Your job is to lead calmly, set the tempo, and move when the signal is clear. In this video, I'll decode the specific signs younger women use when they want an older man to take the lead, show you how to answer with confidence without being pushy, and give you exact moves that feel natural, respectful, and undeniably masculine. You'll learn timing, touch, and tone, plus the one line that turns a warm moment into a real date. If you've ever walked away thinking I should have made a move, this is for you. Watch closely, take notes, and apply. Stay respectful, keep boundaries clear, and lead with calm certainty always. Let's get into it. Number 1. She's turned on by your hesitation. Here's the paradox. Most men never see your hesitation. Doesn't always kill attraction. Sometimes it creates it, especially with a younger woman who's drawn to a man's calm, deliberate energy. That quiet pause before you act, that subtle restraint, that moment when you're clearly capable of leading but choose not to rush. That's tension. And tension, when handled right, is what turns curiosity into desire. Let me give you an example. David, 52, divorced for 3 years, met Emily, 29, through mutual friends at a dinner party in Denver. She was confident, playful, and quick with humor, the kind of woman used to men tripping over themselves to impress her. But David was different. He was composed, self-assured, not in a hurry. When she teased him about being the quiet one, he simply smiled and said, "I've learned not everything needs a reaction." She blushed. Why? Because his hesitation, his unwillingness to jump at her bait, flipped a switch in her. See, most younger women expect older men to either rush in with compliments or retreat completely. Both extremes kill attraction. But when you hover in that middle ground where you're clearly interested but measured, it makes her curious. She begins to wonder, why isn't he reacting like the others? That's when interest turns into intrigue. Hesitation in this sense isn't weakness, it's control. The Stoics understood this perfectly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." In moments of tension, that power becomes visible. When you resist the impulse to fill silence or prove something, you project discipline. That discipline is rare and deeply attractive. You see, for a younger woman, your calm presence is unfamiliar terrain. She's used to men chasing validation, reacting to her beauty, or trying to impress her. But when you hesitate, when you let her wonder what you're thinking, when you meet her teasing with steady eyes, she feels your self-possession. That's not passivity. That's leadership. Back to David and Emily. After that first encounter, she started initiating more casual texts, questions about his life, subtle invitations. Not because he was playing games, but because his restraint challenged her. It made her want to draw him out. Every time she leaned in, he matched her energy, slow, deliberate, steady. Within a few weeks, she admitted, "You make me feel like I'm chasing you." He laughed and said, "Maybe you are." That was the moment attraction flipped completely. The truth is, women don't crave constant pursuit. They crave certainty. Your hesitation only works when it's confident, when it says, "I could, but I don't need to, yet." It's not about ignoring her or pretending to be cold. It's about letting her feel your strength through your pace. There's a biological rhythm to this. Feminine energy flows, masculine energy anchors. When you hesitate with composure, you ground the interaction. That stability is what allows her to relax into her feminine side, playful, curious, responsive. If you ever doubt this, remember what Epictetus said: "No man is free who is not master of himself." The moment you master that internal impulse to rush, you become free, and that freedom is magnetic. So the next time a younger woman looks at you, laughs at your calmness, or teases your patience, don't rush to respond. Let the silence do the work. Let her feel the steadiness in your hesitation, because that's not you being uncertain, that's you showing her what real control looks like. If you've ever been in that moment where you paused and she leaned in, write it in the comments. I've seen this happen. Stick with me, because next we'll decode how her eyes start revealing what her words won't. Number 2. Her eyes flirt before her words do. Before a woman ever says a word, her eyes have already spoken. You can tell everything you need to know in that brief moment. The way she looks at you, looks away, then looks back again. It's a language of tension and curiosity that most men completely miss. Younger women especially use this more than any other form of communication. They flirt without words because it feels safer. It gives them control while letting you feel the invitation. When her gaze lingers just a second too long, when she smiles softly as her eyes stay locked on yours, that's not coincidence, that's intent. But the power is in how you respond. A younger woman might test your awareness by meeting your eyes, then pretending it was nothing. She's not asking you to react like a teenager. She's waiting to see if you're grounded enough to hold eye contact without turning it into a performance. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Your eyes reveal your state before you even speak confidence, calm, or neediness. When your energy is restless, your gaze flickers. When you're centered, it holds steady. Women notice this instantly. She's drawn not to what you look at, but how you look. Calm, focused eyes speak of strength, patience, and depth, the kind that makes her heartbeat quicken without knowing why. Here's what most men get wrong. They think eye contact is about dominance. It's not. It's about presence. When you meet her gaze with quiet assurance, you're not trying to overpower her. You're letting her see that nothing in you is shaken. You're fully there, steady, unhurried. That's what makes her lean in emotionally. Female psychology is subtle. Her eyes often say what her words can't. I'm curious, I'm testing your calm, or I'm giving you permission. The trick is to read the look without rushing into action. Hold her gaze just long enough for her to feel your confidence, then shift away slowly. Don't break eye contact because you're nervous, but because you choose to. That slight delay is everything. It communicates that you noticed her energy and that you're in control of yours. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The same applies here. Her eyes might spark something in you, attraction, tension, curiosity, but your reaction defines your presence. A weak man gets flustered. A grounded man smiles calmly, stays composed, and lets her wonder. So next time you catch her looking, don't rush it. Let your gaze stay steady, confident, and quiet. Let the silence do the talking, because the real connection always starts long before the first word. If you've ever felt that kind of unspoken connection, that silent moment where her eyes said everything, write it in the comments. I'm staying calm. It's your reminder that power isn't in speaking first, it's in mastering what you project. Stay with me, because next we'll talk about something even more, revealing how her touch tells you what her eyes began. Number 3. She touches you to feel your reaction. Touch is one of the oldest languages of attraction and one of the easiest to misread. When a younger woman finds herself drawn to an older man, she rarely says it outright. Instead, she lets her body speak first. A light touch on your arm, a gentle brush on your shoulder, the playful pat on your hand. These aren't accidents, they're signals. She's testing something. She wants to know how you will respond. Let's take a real example. James, 47, from Portland, met Maya, 31, at a wine tasting event. She was charming, confident, and noticeably attentive to him. Throughout the night, she'd lightly touch his forearm while talking, lean in when laughing, and linger just a moment longer when handing him a glass. James noticed, but second-guessed himself. Maybe she's just friendly, he thought. But here's the truth, she wasn't trying to be friendly. She was feeling his reaction. You see, for a younger woman, touch is a form of curiosity. She wants to feel if your energy shifts when she bridges that physical gap. Does he flinch? Does he freeze? Does he stay calm? That's what tells her whether your attraction is grounded in confidence or anxiety. If you stiffen up, she senses insecurity. If you overreact, she feels pressure. But when you stay composed, relaxed posture, warm smile, unbothered tone, she feels safe. And safety combined with tension is the most potent mix of attraction there is. In psychology, this is called reciprocal feedback. She gives a small stimulus, a touch, to observe your state. Women are hypersensitive to energy. They read body language faster than men do. That's why the way you receive her touch is more important than the touch itself. Stoic philosophy teaches this exact kind of mastery. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." In moments like this, that adversity isn't conflict, it's self-control under stimulation. Your job isn't to suppress attraction, it's to hold it, to feel it fully without losing composure. That balanced desire without desperation is what separates mature men from impulsive boys. When Maya touched James's arm, he didn't pull away or rush to mirror her. He simply looked at her, smiled faintly, and continued the conversation as if nothing had changed. That subtle calmness intrigued her. It told her he was comfortable in his own skin. By the end of the night, she found excuses to stay close, adjusting his collar, brushing his sleeve, handing him her phone. Every touch became softer, slower, more intentional. What drew her in wasn't what he said, it was how he stayed steady. Remember, a woman's touch is both an invitation and an evaluation. She's not asking you to pounce. She's checking if your masculine energy can hold the charge of tension without crumbling. That's what makes her feel chemistry, not from chaos, but from contrast. When you can hold that energy with calm awareness, you flip the dynamic. She's no longer in control of the rhythm, she's following your composure. That's how tension builds naturally, without effort, without force. So the next time her hand brushes yours, or she leans close when she doesn't have to, don't question it. Let the silence stretch. Keep your body language open, your voice steady, your energy calm. Because in that stillness, she feels the depth of your confidence, and that's what makes her want more. If you've ever been in that exact moment when her touch said more than her words, write it in the comments. I felt that. It's the first sign that her curiosity is turning into connection. Stick with me, because next we'll talk about how she creates moments for you to step closer and what to do when she does. Number 4. She sets the scene for you to get closer. When a younger woman is attracted to you, she won't always say it outright. Instead, she creates moments, quiet opportunities for closeness that feel effortless but are anything but random. She'll linger when the conversation could have ended, invite you somewhere where it's just the two of you, or find small excuses for proximity, a shared laugh, a light touch, or a comment that pulls you in closer. These aren't coincidences, they're invitations. She's setting the scene and waiting to see if you'll recognize it. Here's how this works. Feminine energy invites, masculine energy leads. When she sets the tone, she's creating a space for you to step forward, not aggressively but decisively. Maybe she lowers her voice, so you have to lean in, or positions herself close enough for casual touch. What she's really asking is, can you read this moment without ruining it? She wants you to lead, but with control. That's where attraction deepens, in the balance between presence and patience. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The silence, the pause, the subtle hesitation, those are not barriers, they're openings. But only the man who is calm enough can see them for what they are. Most men either freeze up from fear or push too hard out of excitement. A Stoic man stays centered. He reads the energy, mirrors her rhythm, and moves with purpose. This isn't about dominance, it's about awareness. She's not testing your boldness, she's testing your steadiness. When she sets the scene, she's seeing if she can trust you with the energy she's offering. Can you stay composed in tension? Can you match her pace without forcing it? When your calm presence meets her subtle signals, it builds a current of trust. That's where chemistry starts to feel magnetic, not chaotic. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This is where mastery shows not in clever words but in control. A self-possessed man doesn't rush to fill silence or chase approval. He lets the moment breathe. When she moves closer, he meets her energy halfway, no more, no less. That balance makes her feel both drawn to you and safe with you. So the next time a woman lingers, lowers her tone, or gives you that small opening, don't overthink it. Don't talk yourself out of the moment, and don't lunge toward it either. Stay relaxed, grounded, and aware. Move closer, slowly, deliberately. Let your calmness set the pace. Because when you meet her invitation with poise, she feels the difference between a man who's reacting to her energy and one who's guiding it. And if you're ready to take that composure beyond attraction into every area of life, then it's time to step inside the Stoic Brotherhood. It's where men like you train discipline, emotional control, and quiet confidence that speaks louder than words. Inside, you'll learn how to turn moments of uncertainty into proof of strength. If you've ever felt a woman create the moment, and you held your calm instead of rushing it, write in the comments, "I know my worth." Stay with me, because next we'll talk about why she laughs at everything you say, and how that laughter reveals more than you think. Number 5. She laughs because she wants you. Here's the thing about laughter, it's never just about humor. When a younger woman laughs at everything you say, especially things that aren't that funny, it's not because she's polite, it's because she's interested. Her laughter is her way of connecting, of lowering her guard, of saying, "I feel safe with you." It's a sign that your presence is doing something to her, something deeper than amusement. Let's take a real story. Michael, 55, lives in Austin. He met Tessa, 32, at a mutual friend's cookout. He's calm, well-spoken, carries himself like a man who's seen enough of life to not be impressed by small talk. But the moment they started talking, she couldn't stop laughing. Even when he made simple observations about the food, about the music, about the heat, she laughed, leaned in, and touched his arm as she did it. Later that night, she told a friend, "I don't know why I couldn't stop smiling around him." That's the psychology of attraction at work. Her laughter wasn't about comedy, it was about comfort. You see, feminine energy expresses attraction through emotion. Laughter is one of its most honest forms. When she laughs easily, she's not reacting to your words, she's responding to your energy. The steadiness in your voice, the confidence in your body language, the calmness in your eyes, all of that creates a feeling of safety and tension at the same time. She laughs to release that tension, and the more she laughs, the more her body associates you with warmth, chemistry, and trust. In psychological terms, this is called emotional mirroring. When two people are aligned, their bodies naturally synchronize gestures, tone, even breathing. Laughter amplifies that connection. For a younger woman drawn to an older man, it's her way of saying, "You make me feel light. You make me forget to filter myself." That's rare, and it's powerful. The mistake most men make is trying too hard to be funny. But that's not what sparks real attraction. It's not your punchlines, it's your presence. The way you make her feel when you're not trying at all. If your confidence is grounded, your humor feels effortless. That's what draws her in. The Stoics called this kind of natural composure virtue in action. Seneca once said, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self." calmness is the source of charisma. When Michael joked about the music being too cool for his generation, he wasn't trying to impress Tessa, he was just being himself. His humor was rooted in self-awareness, not self-promotion. That authenticity made her laugh harder. Why? Because it made her relax. She didn't have to perform, she could just feel. And the more she felt, the deeper the attraction grew. So if you ever notice a younger woman laughing at things that don't deserve laughter, even when you're just being straightforward, pay attention. That's her body revealing what her words won't. Don't force it, don't overplay it, and definitely don't analyze it to death. Just smile, stay steady, and let her laughter do the talking. Because the truth is, when she laughs, she's not just entertained, she's engaged. And when a woman feels emotionally engaged, she's already imagining more than conversation. If you've ever been in that moment where her laughter told you everything you needed to know, write it in the comments. I've been there. Stick with me, because next we'll explore something even more intimate when she starts digging into your life, not your looks, and what that really means. Number 6. She craves the depth behind your calm. You know what separates you from most men she meets? It's not money, it's not looks, it's depth. That quiet, steady energy you carry says something to her without you needing to prove anything. Younger women are surrounded by noise men, showing off, competing for attention, constantly talking about themselves. But when she meets a man who's calm, grounded, and mysterious, it pulls her in. She starts craving what's behind that calm. She feels it the moment she looks at you. The way you pause before speaking, the way your attention doesn't scatter, the way you listen, instead of rush to respond, it all signals emotional control. That calm presence tells her you're not seeking validation, you already have it. And that's what fascinates her. Because for her, your restraint is rare, and that rarity feels powerful. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes your greatest advantage. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." That kind of calm doesn't just happen, it's cultivated. It's the strength that comes from mastering your emotions instead of letting them master you. When she senses that in you, she doesn't just see maturity, she feels safety. She feels the difference between a man who reacts and a man who chooses. You see, women are emotional radar. They pick up on the smallest changes in tone, body language, and energy. When she asks deeper questions about your values, your past, your beliefs, it's not just curiosity. It's her way of trying to understand the man beneath the surface. She's looking for the story that shaped that calm. She wants to know what forged it, what you've lived through, what you've learned, what you now stand for. And here's the beautiful truth. When you stay composed and grounded in those moments, it creates something magnetic. You don't have to reveal everything. You don't need to impress her with big life lessons or emotional speeches. You just need to be there, steady and sure. Speak with clarity. Share what feels right. The more she senses your depth, the more she opens up emotionally, because your calm gives her permission to do so. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." That applies to attraction too. The kind of chemistry that lasts isn't built on spark alone, it's built on emotional gravity. Your calmness becomes the space where she can relax, trust, and unfold. She's not drawn to chaos, she's drawn to consistency. And when you give her that, she starts investing more emotionally, even if she doesn't realize it. When you carry calmness with intention, every word hits differently. Every look holds weight. You stop being one of many and become the one who stands out without trying. That's why younger women are magnetized by older men, not because of age, but because of energy. Your calm tells her you've already seen storms and survived them. That steadiness becomes the thing she wants to be, near the thing she wants to understand, and eventually the thing she wants to feel close to. So remember this, your calm isn't silence, it's signal. It tells her you're not a boy seeking reaction, you're a man offering presence. When you embody that, she doesn't just admire you, she starts craving the depth behind it. If you've ever had a woman lean in, wanting to know more about who you are rather than what you have, write it in the comments. I'm learning this. Stay tuned, because next we'll talk about how she begins removing other men from her orbit and what that reveals about where her heart's already going. Number 7. She cuts other men out for you. When a younger woman starts to feel something real for you, you'll notice something subtle. Other men begin to fade from her world. She might not announce it, but her actions say everything. The texts from just friends slow down, the party invitations get ignored, and suddenly her focus narrows. That's when you know she's emotionally investing, not because you demanded it, but because she chose to. Let's talk about a real situation. Ethan, 50, owns a small design firm in Seattle. He met Rachel, 30, through a professional networking event. She was outgoing, always surrounded by people, constantly checking her phone. But as their connection deepened, something changed. She started texting less when they were together, turning her phone face down and focusing entirely on him. One evening over dinner, Ethan noticed her phone buzzing. She glanced at it, smiled faintly, then pushed it aside. "It's no one important," she said. That moment wasn't casual, it was a quiet declaration. She had begun cutting out distractions. You see, attraction isn't only about attention, it's about priority. When a woman starts to value the way she feels around you, she naturally filters out anything that competes with it. It's not something you need to force or control. In fact, the more you try to manage her behavior, the more she'll pull back. But when your presence brings her peace, curiosity, and excitement, she willingly clears the noise. This is the dynamic most mature men miss. They confuse freedom with detachment. But a Stoic man knows the difference. You don't cling to what you want. You let it come to you through strength and self-control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When your mindset is calm and focused, it shapes your energy, and that's the energy she chooses over chaos. Rachel once told Ethan, "You're the only man who doesn't need to prove anything." That line sums it up perfectly. Younger women are used to men trying to outcompete to win attention, but the man who's unbothered, who stands firm in his calm confidence, becomes the one she respects, and desire always follows respect. By staying composed, Ethan gave Rachel space to decide, and she did. She stopped talking about other guys altogether. That's the power of quiet influence. Here's the thing, when she begins to filter her world, she's not just choosing you, she's aligning her life with the peace she feels when she's around you. It's an emotional cleansing. The energy of an older, grounded man often makes her realize how draining the noise has been. She doesn't crave competition anymore, she craves connection. But remember, never try to lock it down. Don't rush to claim what's naturally growing. The moment you demand loyalty, you lose leadership. Stoic wisdom says, "He who angers you conquers you." The same applies to control. If you need to control her to feel secure, you've already lost control of yourself. Let her choose you. That choice is what gives the bond meaning. So the next time you notice a woman slowing down, going quiet around other men, or simply giving you undivided attention, don't question it. Recognize it for what it is. She's clearing space for you. If you've ever felt that shift when her world got smaller, but her attention got sharper, write it in the comments. I've seen this. Let's keep going, because next we'll uncover the quiet moment when she surrenders to your energy without even realizing it. Number 8. She submits to your energy without realizing it. There comes a point in every attraction where words stop mattering. The dynamic shifts from what's said to what's felt. When a younger woman starts to truly feel your masculine calm, that grounded presence, you carry something subtle begins to happen. Her energy softens. Her tone lowers. Her body language changes. She starts to mirror you without realizing it. That's not manipulation. That's nature responding to stability. You've probably seen this before without naming it. When you stay composed and still, she starts matching your rhythm. She stops interrupting, leans in closer, breathes slower. She laughs less to fill silence, and more because she feels safe in it. It's not about her consciously deciding to submit. It's that her nervous system recognizes your calm as leadership, and in that moment she lets go of control. In psychology, this is called emotional entrainment, when two people's emotional states sync up, and the steadier one leads the flow. This is why your energy always sets the tone. If you're anxious, she becomes restless. If you're calm, she relaxes. Feminine energy doesn't want to dominate, it wants to respond. And the more stillness you embody, the more magnetic that response becomes. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That's the essence of this principle. When you are calm, you don't need to prove calmness. When you are confident, you don't need to convince anyone of it. Women sense authenticity faster than logic can explain. They feel what's real. So when your inner world is centered, she senses it, and without even realizing it, she adjusts herself to fit your frame. You might notice this in conversation. She starts waiting for your reactions instead of steering the topic. She takes pauses that mirror yours. If you lean back, she does too. If you speak softly, her voice follows the same tone. She might not even know why, but she's aligning with your energy because it feels natural. That alignment is attraction in its purest form. No chasing, no games, just presence, guiding presence. The Stoics understood this as self-mastery. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom in this context is emotional control, the ability to stay steady when everything around you shifts. When you embody that, you become the anchor, and the feminine instinctively seeks the anchor. She feels at ease near a man who doesn't get swept away by mood or temptation. Here's where most men fail. They think control means suppression. It doesn't. Stoic calm isn't emotional numbness, it's emotional awareness. You feel the pull, the tension, the desire, but you manage it instead of reacting to it. That management is what makes her trust you enough to soften. She doesn't need to protect herself anymore because your steadiness protects the space. When she starts to submit to your energy, it's not about dominance, it's about resonance. You become the emotional thermostat. You don't chase her mood, you define it. That's what creates the quiet intimacy that words can't replicate. So the next time you notice her mirroring your stillness, her voice softer, her body closer, her gaze longer, understand what's happening. She's not pretending, she's aligning. That's the moment attraction transcends attention and turns into trust. If you've ever seen this happen, where her energy shifts the moment yours stays grounded, write it in the comments. I'm staying calm. Stay tuned, because next we'll break down the turning point, when that calm confidence makes her crave you in ways she can't explain. Number 9. She keeps you near to feed the tension. When attraction builds between a younger woman and a mature man, something fascinating happens. She doesn't always want resolution, she wants tension. That invisible pull between you two becomes addictive. She'll find ways to keep you close, not because she needs constant attention, but because the energy between you feels alive. It's her way of staying connected to the charge that only your calm confidence creates. Let me paint a picture. Ryan, 48, a divorced father from San Diego, met Lily, 28, at a photography workshop. She was bright, confident, and flirtatious, the kind of woman used to men chasing after her. But with Ryan, it was different. He didn't chase. He listened. He let silences linger. He let her feel his composure. And soon she began inventing reasons to stay near him. "Could you help me pick a lens? You should come check out this shot. We should grab coffee just to talk about ideas." Every excuse kept him close enough to feel him, but not so close that she had to define it. That's what tension does. It lives in the spaces between. Women are wired for emotional contrast. When she feels that slow-burning chemistry with you, she doesn't want it to end quickly. She wants to stay inside it. That's why she lingers after a conversation touches your hand, but doesn't pull away fast or texts you at night just to see what you're doing. It's not randomness, it's her way of keeping the emotional current alive. As a Stoic man, your strength is understanding this without needing to control it. You don't push for more than what's naturally unfolding. Marcus Aurelius said, "Patience is the companion of wisdom." When you stay patient within that tension, she feels your steadiness. You become the calm in the storm of her emotions. And ironically, that restraint only intensifies her attraction because your stillness gives her space to feel. Here's where most men ruin it. They rush to break the tension. They text too much, ask for clarity, or try to turn every moment into a move. But tension isn't something you break. It's something you maintain. It's the art of being near but not needy, of letting her think about you when you're not there because your energy lingers. When you master that, she starts to crave your presence even when you're silent. Ryan understood this. When Lily asked him to join her for coffee after the workshop, he said yes, but stayed the same grounded version of himself. He didn't flirt aggressively or rush to define anything. He let the conversation breathe. He smiled, listened, and left while the energy was still high. The next day, she messaged him first. That's the effect of tension done right. It makes her come back to feel it again. So the next time a woman keeps finding small ways to stay near you, understand that it's not random. She's not confused, she's engaged. You've become a source of emotional electricity she can't fully explain. And that's exactly where attraction lives, between comfort and curiosity. If you've ever felt that kind of energy when she stays close just to stay in the moment, write it in the comments. I felt that. Stick with me, because next we'll uncover the final shift, when that tension transforms into something deeper and she starts waiting for you to finally take the lead. Number 10. She's waiting for you to finally take the lead. At some point, every unspoken connection reaches a crossroads. The looks, the laughs, the subtle touches they've built, a rhythm that can't stay suspended forever. And here's the truth. Most men miss. She's not confused. She's waiting. Not for a declaration, not for a speech, but for a man to step into his natural role as the leader. When a younger woman feels drawn to an older man, it's rarely about age. It's about energy. She's waiting for the moment when that calm confidence she's been drawn to finally moves into action. This doesn't mean pushing, chasing, or forcing the moment. It means directing it. You see, leadership in attraction is never about control, it's about clarity. It's showing her that your intentions match your energy. She's already tested your patience, your steadiness, your restraint. Now she wants to see your courage. Because while she may flirt, mirror, and set the scene, she's looking for you to define what comes next. In her world, most men hesitate or hide behind politeness. They wait for permission that never comes. But a Stoic man doesn't wait for permission. He recognizes timing. He acts when the moment aligns, without hesitation, without arrogance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is measured by the things he pursues." The pursuit here isn't conquest, it's truth. When you finally act, you're not chasing her approval. You're aligning with your intention. Think about it. She's spent time reading your calm, testing your reaction, drawing you closer. Every move she's made has been leading to this point. When you take the lead, it's not about breaking the tension, it's about giving it direction. Maybe it's asking her out with certainty. Maybe it's leaning in when the silence becomes charged. Maybe it's simply saying, "I like where this is going." What matters isn't how you lead, but that you do. Women crave polarity, the dance between her softness and your decisiveness. Your leadership gives her permission to surrender to her feminine energy. She wants to feel your confidence, not hear about it. She wants to feel your decisiveness, not analyze it. When you lead with respect and calm intention, she relaxes into that trust. It's not dominance, it's alignment. Here's where emotional maturity sets you apart. A boy reacts to attraction. A man responds to it with purpose. You've already proven through your calmness that you're grounded. Now leadership is the natural conclusion of that control. When you take the first real step, the one she's been waiting for, she doesn't feel pressured. She feels relief. Because you've finally done what she hoped you would, turn potential into reality. Remember what Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. The Stoic approach isn't to talk about what you'll do, it's to do it with quiet confidence. That's what makes your leadership magnetic. Not because it's loud, but because it's certain. So when she looks at you, the silence, stretching her body slightly closer, her breath slower, that's your cue. Don't overthink, don't retreat into logic, just lead. The courage to act with calm intention is what separates the men she remembers from the ones she forgets. In the end, she's not waiting for a fantasy. She's waiting for you, the calm, grounded man who knows when it's time to move. You've just seen how attraction between a younger woman and a mature man unfolds not through games or words, but through energy, presence, and quiet confidence. Every look, every pause, every moment of calm leadership builds the kind of connection most men never experience because they rush what should be felt. If you've learned something valuable today, something that helps you see your own strength more clearly, remember, this is just the beginning. Inside the Stoic Brotherhood, we go deeper. It's where men like you train to master emotional control, develop unshakable confidence, and lead with calm power in every area of life. So if you're ready to take this mindset beyond relationships into your career, your purpose, and your everyday decisions, join the Brotherhood today. You'll find real guidance, real philosophy, and real results. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss new videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.